Welcome to Start Before You're Ready, the podcast that proves that you don't need to wait for the perfect moment to begin your journey towards better health and happiness. I'm your host, Kelly Young. Remember, the first step is often the hardest, but it's always worth taking. Hey guys, it's Kelly, and I'm back with another episode of Start Before You're Ready. Today's guest is a true KBC legend. And the one thing that makes her especially unique is that she was the first, only one person can be the first, she was the first person to walk in my door of my home back in 2009 when I had an interest meeting to see if anyone would be interested in doing Saturday boot camp. So kind of setting the stage for where I was in my life. I was a mom of 4 young children, and my daughter was somewhere in the months. And I had said I wanted to start this outdoor boot camp on Saturday morning for busy parents like myself, where people could come and get a workout in and not have to leave the neighborhood. And Jenny my guest today is Jenny Greenfield. And she was the first person to knock on my door. Jenny's known to be early and come on in. And we had a meeting, and it was basically, I was trying to get feedback from them. I was also trying to tell them my mission and my purpose. And what I think is really cool is I remember the words that I said that day, and that I wanted to provide affordable fitness for people that were like team-minded and wanted to be a part of something. And I didn't know what it looked like because I hadn't done it yet, but I needed people like Jenny that would just say, I'm going to try, I'll do it. And not only did Jenny say, yes, I'll do it, but she said, I think my husband, Mike, would really want to do this. But she was in the same situation as me. At that point, she had 2. Now she has 3 children, 2 little kids that she couldn't leave home alone in the morning. So she's like, my husband would really want to do it. Would you consider offering 2 classes? And that's why that's why for so many years we had a 7 a.m. and an 8 a.m. boot camp. I give Jenny Greenfield pure credit for that. So just a quick introduction for Jenny, and I'll let her introduce herself. Jenny's a dear friend. I've known her most all the time that I've been in Northern Virginia. And I think we became especially close when our daughters were babies. She has a daughter that's born in March, and I have a daughter that's born in July. So we were pregnant at the same time, and we both had our first girl, and we were trying to work out, and I was teaching, and she used to come to my step class at Gold's. So it was great because we were friends, and I remember we'd put the girls next to each other they were still in their car seats, and we'd just pop them down, put the car seats in, and we'd go in and do our workout and pick them back up when we got out. And now, fun fact, we just sent our daughters to college. So both of them, actually, they went dorm room shopping together. Lindsay and Avery were out at Home Goods a few nights right before that last week. I think Lindsay was helping Avery, believe it or not, because Lindsay had kind of had everything, and she's like, Mom, Avery needs, she needed
sheets.
she needed something. I don't know. That's what Lynn said. Anyway, I'm going to let Jenny, I could talk all day about Jenny. She's such a great friend, and she's now part of the KBC team. We're going to talk about that too, but I'm going to go ahead and let Jenny introduce herself to you guys.
Yeah, I think you've said it all. I mean, I'm Jenny Greenfield. I have 3 children. I've been doing boot camp since the beginning. I was the one that suggested, hey, let's do 2 classes so that I can race home and my husband can go to the next one. And that's how it all started. Although I did meet you through Gold's prior to that. Sorry, I was taking a class with you, and we were doing step aerobics back in the day. I still love step. And yeah, so like when you said I wanted to start an outdoor boot camp, I was like, yes, this would be so much fun. And I definitely want my husband to join as well. So that's how it all started. But yeah, I'm about to turn 50. I work a full-time job. I'm in the corporate doing HR. I really just appreciate my boot campers, my friends, the community. Yeah, it's really important to me.
I love that. So that is another reason why I wanted to have Jenny on today. So one of the things about the podcast is that I like it to be fluid, and I like it to be like, I think of something and then I can act on it. It's not all scripted out. And last Friday night, we hosted a 50th birthday party. Jenny's birthday is not until September. But when I realized I had 2 team members that were turning 50 within a couple weeks of each other, I was like, oh boy, I can't probably pull off 2 parties. So we just love to celebrate everything. And Jenny and Amy have both been with KBC for such a long time. They're both instructors on the dream team. They're 2 people that do so much for me. They help me out so much as teammates. And I just wanted to celebrate them and have a party for them. And we had an amazing fun party on Friday night, and it was really great. And Jenny came in the cutest outfit, like a camo dress, and she just looked fantastic. Her hair she looked fantastic. And I was like, you know what? That moment, I didn't tell her that night because I knew she wasn't going to be excited about it as I was. But I was like, Jenny, I really want to have you on the podcast. I've known you for 20 years. You look better now than you've ever looked. Your energy seems better. You've had some health issues where you've had to battle through and figure out some stuff, some things that would make it hard to exercise, make it hard to manage your weight. And you've done it. And I think that that's what is so important and so inspiring. You're very resilient. You kind of, you don't like to talk about like, hey, I've been through some things, but everybody's been through some things. But you turning 50 are more vibrant and energetic and positive, and you look beautiful, and you do a lot too, Jenny. You don't really give yourself, enough credit for all that you do. You still have a daughter in middle school, which that's a whole, now you have 2 kids in college, which the responsibilities of just because they're in college doesn't mean you're checked out. That's still a lot to do with them. You have a daughter in middle school. She's active in athletics. Your husband coaches. You coached Avery, now coaching Harper, and you work full time outside of the home, and you teach at 5:15 in the morning for us, and you also teach after work. You help out so much in the when we need you in the KBC community, and you also are, it's not like you're just like all work, no play. You love to have fun. You love family. You just treasure all the things that I value. So I just wanted to have you on and use you as an example of what's possible it's not always perfect, but you consistently, and at least in the time I've known you, maybe it's because you're an instructor and you have to, but you've consistently made exercise part of your routine. It's been part of your life. It doesn't have to be every day. I tell my students that all the time. There's some people that just feel like they need to work out every day. Jenny's not one of those people. Jenny, what she does consistently. And that's what's so important. That's where the magic happens. It's like, how many times a week should I work out? Well, as many as you can keep up with. And one of the things that you shared in the book and that you shared in the interview is that you're not someone that like lives, breathes, and that loves exercise so much that you're like, oh my God, I got to get my workout. You're kind of like one of those people like, but maybe that's changed. I'd love you to speak to that a little bit, Jenny. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No, I think that's exactly it. I'm still not one that is like a total fitness freak. And I think what you said is, you work out because you have to. That is truly one of the reasons I continue to be an instructor, is so that I am showing up, and I am showing up for myself. I'm showing up for others. I think if I weren't instructing, I would probably say, oh, I just don't have time. I would find excuses. So being an instructor is what helps me with my consistency. And being, like you said, I'm actually feeling really good about myself at 50. I think at 40, when I was turning 40, I think I was still like really kind of struggling, and I was like not happy about turning 40. And now that I'm like turning 50, like it's not phasing me. I'm like, it's just a number, and I don't feel 50. I do feel energetic. I feel pretty confident in my body. Like I definitely, I've got things that I don't like about myself or whatever, but I feel really good where I'm at right now. And I really attribute that to the community and KBC and, the consistency. I think it's just so important.
I think consistency is so important too. And let's talk about that a little bit, Jenny, because I think we can both speak to this, because I don't have the kind of job that you have where it's as rigid with my day. But I know for myself, sometimes when I'm going into the studio in the evening, I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to teach a class right now? Like I'm like hitting my face. Yeah. I'm tired. I am tired. I hit that kind of wall in the late afternoon. And I know you teach a really popular class on our schedule on Monday afternoon at 4:45. core fusion. And I totally understand what you're saying. Like if you weren't teaching, I'm sure there are days where you'd be like, oh my gosh, like I'm too tired. I can't, like it's been a long day. I've got to go home. I got to start dinner. I got to do laundry. Harper needs to, but you prioritize it because you have to be there. Speak a little bit to that, Jenny.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what it is. I do have to prioritize it. And the Monday afternoon class, like I love that class. I have to leave work early on Mondays, but that's, a class that I truly look forward to. It's got great music. It's, low impact, but it can be like a pretty intense strength class if you want it to be. And I've got a lot of regulars that I enjoy seeing. So yeah, it's motivation. Tuesday, Wednesday mornings, 5:15 a.m. That is a struggle for me to get out of bed. I'm not a huge morning person. Gosh, I feel so much better after doing it. I really do. Like it's hard to get up, but I love being there. I love seeing the people and I feel so good, the whole rest of the day, knowing that my workout's done. I can come home and be there for my family in the evening, and it's motivation for me. I mean, it's hard. I do work full time and it is a 9-to-5 job and I have to be in the office. So it's a lot. But like I said, like if I weren't doing this, I don't know that I would make the time for myself.
It really speaks to routine, right? It's just your routine.
Yes.
It's like you don't have to think about it. It's like, that's just what you do. And I think having, like in your case, it truly is non-negotiable, but it's talking to our audience about how to create that routine. You have to think of it just like Jenny does. You have to think of it like I have a class that I have to be at Monday at 4:45, or I'm, whatever workouts you're committing to. I think that's one of the reasons why people are really successful in our programs is because they do have to schedule their workouts and they do start to look forward to seeing the people, as you referenced, like you look forward to seeing them, and they do feel great when they're done, and they don't have to think. They don't have to, you're working all day at home and in the office, and you get to your workout. Well, you plan out your workouts. You do. I want to talk about that a little bit too. You plan out beautiful workouts, but for our members, they just show up and they're going to they're going to get an experience. They're going to get custom curated, amazing, unique, innovative workout that works, that they're going to feel different muscles in their body. That's going to hit them in a different way. I think you're really good at that, Jenny. I like your workouts a lot. I love the way you add like a little small tweak to some of the basic movements. And I'm pretty, I like the basic movements, but you just add these little small tweaks or a pulse or something to make it more effective. And I know you have a dance background. You don't really have a fitness background. Obviously, you have your credentials now. You're a certified professional fitness instructor. You started off as a bar instructor, and then you became a certified fitness professional. How do you just think that's natural for you? Do you think you've learned that over time? I'm curious how you craft your workouts.
Well, just a little bit of a background. Yeah, I've always been sort of an athletic person, but
yes, you're very athletic, actually.
Yeah, not really into like fitness so much, but I was definitely into sports, and I swam and softball and basketball, and then I was on dance team in high school, and so I mean, it's sort of the fitness comes naturally. Again, wasn't fitness freak, but definitely athletic. And then I think as far as like crafting my workouts, to me, it's like, I think about the people that are coming to my class. And I'm like, I know what they like.
Yeah.
So, I mean, sometimes if I'm like, okay, I know that these people are like really into like heavy weights. Okay. So I'm going to plan a station with some like heavier weights, or if it's, like a Chrissy Konicki, like I know she loves using this step when we do our strength and conditioning, then, then I'm like, okay, I see Chrissy's coming to my class today. Like, let's do this one. And I'll like incorporate, things I know she likes. And so I think over time that's been the case where like I get to know the people and what they like, and I'll craft kind of around the people I know that are coming to my class. In the beginning, it wasn't like that. In the beginning, I just like spent a lot of time thinking, okay, do I want to do stations? Do I want to stay in place? Like I did this last week, so let's do this week. And I do put a lot of thought into each week.
I know you do.
I have a folder about this big filled with, classes that I've done. But I do always still kind of tweak them. I'll pull it out and be like, oh, I liked this class, but I remember like we need to do this time. I do repeat some classes, but I am constantly kind of tweaking and hopefully making it better each time.
It's just everything I love hearing. And that's why you're an incredible instructor, Jenny. Starting back to the first thing you said, which I think is the most important, you think about your members. And that is so important. And that means so much to our members. I think that's why you always get such amazing feedback. And our members know that. They know that, like, hey, Jenny's lying in bed at night thinking, I like this. Like, I'm going to plan a workout around this person. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice that people get that? I mean, everybody deserves that. Like, all of our members are just hardworking, amazing community members, and they deserve to have workouts that are special for them. And I love that we're able to do that. There's so many unique things that we're able to do as an independent studio with classes that instructors create themselves versus choreographed or very boring workout coming from corporate. That's just something that can be repeated over and over. I really like that. And I appreciate all that you do to plan your classes. I hope that you know that. And I know that our members appreciate it too. And I honestly believe that I think that's why people get great results from our workouts, because it's not the same thing. The worst thing you can do when you're training is do the same thing over and over again. Yeah. I mean, there are basic movement patterns. Like, I teach a class called muscle confusion, or it's called strength, but like, you're going to do squats, you're going to do lunges, you're going to do presses, you're going to do them. But I'm just going to, just like Jenny's saying, I'm just going to find little ways to tweak things. And that's when people be like, oh my gosh, Kelly, people take my class all the time. I know you hear this too, Jenny. Oh, I'm so sore. It's just that little thing that, it's a little edit that we do. So it's really important. And I think people, you said this a little bit in the beginning. It's like, how you feel after. It's like, I just did something hard, right? I was just a part of something bigger than myself. I was just a part of this group that, we all got through this workout together. There's that common bond of like, oh, Jenny tried to kill us today or whatever it is. Yeah. They like that, they're all part of that. And that's really, really special. So thank you for sharing that. The other thing that I wanted to ask you a little bit about, Jenny, is about what do you think you've learned from being not only a member and an instructor, part of the community? I love that you as an instructor still stay involved. You do our challenge. That was really important to me, because I was taking like some of my best members and making them instructors or asking them to become instructors. And I'm like, but I still want you to be part of the community. I still, I don't want it to be like, we're here and they're there. So to me, community is we're all like, I do some of our programs for accountability, and Jenny does too. Can you talk a little bit about that?
One of the things you mentioned were these like the small groups and some of these specialty like things that we do. And I think truthfully, like I learned that is like a wonderful way to get involved. It's also one of the, to be consistent and to show up is, some of these smaller programs. For me, it was Camp U. Like that was really a turning point for me when we had Camp U. And you sign up and you're expected to be there. So you're accountable. And I think for me, that was a big learning and turning point for me. Accountability for sure is a huge thing. At the time I had a really big accountability partner, and she and I would show up to class together and
you and Aaron, right?
And it was Aaron and I. Yeah.
I love that. I miss that. I remember doing squats at Ignite with you guys, and Aaron did like 400 squats or something crazy.
Yeah. But I think for people, listening and maybe like, oh, I don't know if I'm, ready for this, or do I want to get involved? I think a small group is a really awesome way to start, to do one of these programs. You get a little bit more of like a one-on-one with an instructor, or maybe just join with a friend and have that accountability. I think that was just that was a big thing for me.
That's really good advice. And just to clarify, so Camp U was the name of the program when we started it. And I don't think Camp U is dead per se, but Amy has a new signature program that's called Level Up. And it's just the name that she gave it, but it's the same concept. It's small group of people. It's actually all women, small group of women, accountability. Amy's able to program the workouts a little bit differently because she knows exactly who's coming. She knows what they did last time. She has more touch points with them. them. And then Julie also offers a strength class. Same thing, small group. It's not like anybody can come. It's just that group of people for a period of time, 6 to 8 weeks. It's different. It's a different feeling. And some people like it. Some people, but I think I'm really glad that you brought up that you felt like that really helped you.
Mm-hmm. And it maybe not be for everybody. You know, maybe you are the one that wants to just dive right into like a big group class. And yes,
right.
You know, for me, group fitness is everything. Like if I were to go to a gym right now, alone, I would probably walk on the treadmill for a little while, kind of look around. I might lift a weight or two. And I'm like, I don't know, I'm over this. And I would go, you know? So for me, like the group thing is it for me. Like that is what I need. That is what works for me. And then obviously just the community we've built, just the people are amazing. But, I don't know, you know, it depends on the type of person. If it's a smaller group, you know, you feel more comfortable starting out in a smaller atmosphere. Like, you know, we've got these programs for you that'll really, you know, get you involved, and it's just show up. Like that always just goes in my head, you know, just show up and keep showing up. Yeah. Just keep showing up.
Yeah. Good days, bad days, hard times. Yeah. Even if you're consistency, even if you're, you know, I know like this time of year, I'm getting messages from people like, my schedule, my kids, my this, just, you have to find something. Maybe you're coming to a 5:15 a couple days a week now. Mm-hmm. You got to keep it, because it is, the consistency is so important. And when people like will send a message and be like, I need to like stop for a little while. It won't be a little while. It won't. You'll be gone for a year or two, and you can't afford it. You cannot afford to lose muscle and to lose your fitness if you've been off and it's okay. Come back. We'll help you. We'll get you back. But really trying to not go on and off is going to make a really big difference in your fitness. I think we've learned that just through our students. And it's not to say you can't come back and be strong.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, I've kind of been that person, not that I've ever like left boot camp, but I think as far as like coming and going, like I think of myself, I've been a roller coaster. Like, you know, I'm not perfect. I've been that person that would like be all in and be there every day and going crazy, you know, and then I would be the one that like fell off the wagon and just, you know, so we
haven't seen you in a while, Jenny.
Yeah. So like, I'm definitely a come and go. And like, I think, you know, again, like I know we keep bringing it back to this, but if you find a consistent, you know, it's that consistency, find what works for you, just show up. You'll be happy you did. You'll feel better, but you know, it doesn't have to be all in and all out. Like just find what works for you 2 days a week, 4 days a week, just find the time, show up and be consistent.
I love that people make connections in KBC that go beyond their workout time together. And Jenny has done that. She's kind of part of this group of women that were a contest team, maybe a little bit randomly. I wouldn't say you guys were all like a big group of friends that became a contest team, but you did a contest one year and there's been a really deep kind of bond and friendship between you. And you mentioned how there are people that, you know, when you're feeling like, we're all sometimes feeling like we're struggling or we're feeling alone or we're feeling like we're going through something hard. And those ladies are there for you. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, Jenny?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that group is really everything to me. It's a group that I just really, truly feel like I can be myself 100% authentic. You know, like I can show up on my good and bad days, however I present myself, and they're going to be there for me. And that is, it came out of a boot camp team and, you know, it was turned into like coffee on the weekends. And now it's turned into like girls trips and birthdays, celebrations. And I mean, I've got my neighborhood friends, I've got my work friends, and I've got, you know, all these groups, but this is one of these groups of women that just, it's just so authentic. And like whatever I'm going through or whatever they're going through, we're there for each other. And, you know, we have a group text that we're like, hey, does somebody know a doctor for this or that? You know, it's just, you can reach out to them for anything and everything. And it all spun from being in a group together for a contest. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really powerful. And what I love about that group, and maybe it's not as diverse, but it feels like there's like a little bit of a spectrum of ages. So it's like, oh, you're sending your kid to college. Oh, well, my kid went to tech or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like you have that, like someone's done it before you, or it's just really nice to have that.
Yeah. I mean, we've got, early 40s all the way to Maria's going to be 68.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we definitely, isn't that crazy? She told us that the other day.
I know. January. Her birthday's in January. Martin Luther King. It's right around Martin Luther King Day. Yeah. That's insane. Yeah. Everybody has aged so beautifully. And that's like one of the things that I'm starting to like really honor and celebrate. And that's one of the reasons why I'm trying to get some of these younger women into our community right now. Women like us, when we were like in our 30s or turning 40, I knew you were younger than me, but I was 35 when I started boot camp. And I am so grateful that I had, especially now, because now I am an empty nester and all my kids are at school. And I'm like, man, what if I didn't have this? It was hard to start back then when, there was so much sports and so much, it was hard, but just getting your foot in the door and making those connections and having it be a through line. Maybe sometimes it's more intense than others, but I do hear that from women that come and, we have men and women, obviously, but I feel like I have a lot of conversations, one-on-one conversations, and women often come to me in their 50s, and it's great because they have the time and they have the money and they, they're ready to get started, but we've got a lot of work to do. Their body fat is not good. It's in the 40s or 50s. And, that comes from decades of sedentary or not enough activity, not the right nutrition. And I just love to be able to get them when they're a little bit younger so we can start to build the foundation. It doesn't have to be perfect. Our journeys, Jenny and I, as, going through this together for 20 years, it's certainly not been perfect. We've had a lot of, there's been struggles. There's been like, oh my gosh, I'm gaining weight. This is happening. But we've kept kind of trying to figure it out along the way and not getting to the point where it's like, oh my gosh, now here I am in my 50s and this doesn't work. And this, I'm struggling with this, and just having the tools and resources has been really helpful. And I think this community is really great about helping each other just have those things and knowing like, like there's a while when we all had tennis elbow, right? Yeah. It was like, I don't know how many people would say, Kelly, it hurts when I'm like, oh, you have tennis. I didn't diagnose anybody, but I knew they had tennis elbow. And it was just like, we all kind of went through it together. And then, oh, is it still bothering you? No, it's better. It's like, we just kind of keep going, well, don't do this or hold your weight out like this instead of this. And so I love that. But
it's true. There's always, you can find somebody that always has been through something that you've been through too,
Yes.
Yeah.
And you see them come to the other side of it, right? I mean, we've seen that with real disease like cancer, and we see them go through it and come back and be on the other side of it. And that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me going when I see that this community has helped people through really hard things. And it's just so inspiring. And it also empowers me as a coach when someone I know is going through something hard and I'm like, you're going to get through this. Like I've seen you're going to get through this. So it's so much more than a workout. That's for sure. But okay, I've asked you some questions. I want to give you a chance to ask me a question. Is there anything that you'd like my advice on or want to ask a question about?
I think for me, it's like how for so many years have you been able to keep up with this business and the changing times? And like, I don't know, I think like you just have so much energy and so much drive and desire about it still. So I guess, just tell me what keeps you going.
Yeah, well, that's a very nice compliment, Jenny. Thank you very much for saying that. And it's a really easy answer. Thank you for asking a question that I can answer. I am just on a mission. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a parking lot, if it's a studio, if it's via Zoom. It doesn't matter. I just want to help people be the healthiest version of themselves. I want to help them with their physical health, which is something I know I can help with. But I also know that if I can help them with their physical health, it will help their mental health. And I realized years ago that my mission was too big for just me. And there was no way it could be the Kelly Show forever. And that's why I recruited people like you and Erica and Amy and Meg and all, our entire team one by one to be part of this mission. And, what I look for in instructors is people that really care about other people, that will want to be on this mission too, because we all get tired. We all have bad days. We all have our own struggles. Sometimes I think this community helps me through my own struggles because I feel like I need to show up. Like, people are counting on me. So even when I'm dealing with something, I'll say, it's bigger than me. And I think there's something powerful to that. It's bigger than me. It's not just me. These people need me. It feels good to feel needed, I guess. And I makes me work harder to show up. Maybe just the analogy that we can all use is our children, right? Like sometimes we want to throw in the towel with, this is going on, but no, our family needs us. Our kids need us. We got to make dinner. We got to do some of the things that we don't necessarily want to do on that particular day. So this community has helped me and uplifted me and changed my life just as much as I hope it's changed other people's lives. And it doesn't, certain things feel like work and, everyone knows where I struggle. It's no secret. I'm not a really organized businesswoman, but I am a passionate human being that loves helping people. So if I can keep that in mind all the time and anytime, like I always get the signs from people. It's just really beautiful. Like if I am having a moment of like, oh, maybe people don't want to come at night anymore. Maybe people don't want, maybe someone says something or does something and I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I needed that. And I'll tell people, they'll send me a text or I just want you to know I really needed to hear that right now. Cause I'm not afraid to tell people I need to know that you need this. I need to know, like, that's what feeds me. It feels like a little, I don't know if selfish is the right word, but like if does feel a little selfish sometimes. Like I need to know that this is helping you. Like it's about me, not them. But it's just a big circle. It's just a big circle.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody really sees and feels your passion. And I think that's why people show up. We want to show up for you, like you inspire us in that way.
Well, that's really nice. Thank you for saying that, Jenny. Well, this has been super fun. I told you it was going to be fun and not stressful. Jenny was a little hesitant to be on the podcast, which I totally get.
I'm a student. I want to study ahead of time and know my answers.
I love you, Jenny. And your answers were beautiful. Jenny is in the book. I did want to share that. I absolutely love Jenny's chapter in Start Before You're Ready. So one of the things that helped me start this podcast was doing interviews in the book. We had asked our members if they would be willing to be interviewed to be highlighted in a chapter. And we didn't know that's what we were doing with the interviews when we did it. But Jenny is in chapter number 6, and it's called Start Something and Then Find Your Passion. I think that was really a perfect chapter to put Jenny in because I don't think Jenny was a little girl saying, I want to teach fitness classes when I grow up, but she started doing fitness classes. She liked the way it felt. She loves community. She loves being part of a group. She loves movement. She loves sport. And she started as a participant and liked it. And now loves teaching. You're an incredible teacher, Jenny. Like I've been around a lot of group fitness instructors in my 3 decades, and I would put you at the very top as far as the way you craft your workouts, the way you pay attention to the students, the way you care, and just your delivery. And just to say, you mentioned it earlier, I was going to reference it, but you had said like you think so much about your students, and I'm seeing your evolution. When you first started, you worried more about yourself. You were like, I don't know, this and this. You were worried about yourself, but now you don't even think about yourself. Now it's like everything is about your students. And that's the evolution of any good teacher, right? I was the same exact way. When I first started teaching, do they hate me? Do they blah, blah, blah? I was worried about all these things. Like, do people like me? Da, 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 da. And then I stopped worrying about any of that. And I just started saying like, today I want to make sure that Buffy smiles or, feels some stress relief or whatever it is. And when you start thinking like that as an instructor, it's no longer stressful. It's like, oh, I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yep.
I can't make them like me, but I can help Buffy have a great workout. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that. Anything else you want to share with our audience, Jenny?
No, I think I just, I want to say again, thank you to you and for everything that you've done for this community. And I appreciate you allowing me to be a part of it.
Well, I appreciate you being a part of it. And we're going to get Mike Greenfield back. Let's get that on air.
Yes. We got
to get Greenie back in action. Her husband is a good example of someone when he's on, he is on. And you can count on Mike. Boom, boom, boom. But then he's coaching or he's building a project at home or he's doing something. He gets a little bit off. He had some back issues. He'll be back. I know it. He'll be back.
He will.
We'll get him back. We love our dudes. Mike, I do love coaching Mike. He's great. He's really great to coach. He's just super athletic and fun to coach and funny. And the guys love him too. So we need him back. We lost like all of our mics. We had so many mics. We're down.
Get him back.
We're down to 0 mics. And Mike, I had so many mics. I know. I'm going to tell him that. I'll text him. All right, Jenny, have a great rest of the day. Thank you so much for being on today. I really appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Start Before You're Ready. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share with a friend who might need a little motivation. Ready to start your own journey? Check out our workouts and nutrition coaching programs at kellysbootcamp.net. You can choose from in-person sessions or virtual programs. Set up a complimentary coaching session to get started. Follow along with me and the show on social media at Kellys_bootcamp. Until next time, this is Kelly Young reminding you that the best time to start is always now.